Hey, what's up? It's Strawberry. Thank you to everybody who checks out our uncensored Mexican Ginger podcast here on YouTube. We try to keep these podcasts like 20, 30 minutes because we know you got stuff to do. We just finished recording this episode, and it's like an hour and 15 minutes long. So we're going to chop it into two parts. Both of them are freaking awesome. So here is part one. So you survived a monsoon in Vegas for the bachelorette party, then went down for the wedding in Cabo, and there was a hurricane. I missed the monsoon. You missed the monsoon?
In Vegas, yeah. I was supposed to fly in the day it happened. Remember, that's why our flight was delayed like all day because it was monsooning.
But then it flooded and some of the power went. You still got some of the effects of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the hurricane in Cabo was fucking crazy. We're not live, right?
No.
Double check.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like, have you ever been in a hurricane before?
No.
Most of us haven't, living in California, like our whole lives. Yeah. We don't get that kind of weather.
No.
It was crazy. They not knowing what to expect, like having never been in a hurricane before, they were freaking me out.
Yeah.
Because all I know of
is time out real quick. October in Cabo
is hurricane season. Yeah, I know.
Okay, there you go.
Whatever. Like that's
it's prime hurricane season in Cabo.
Yeah, like whatever. But how did we know it was going to happen the day we were there? Yeah. Like you can't predict that stuff.
No.
And the hotel is like, I know that now, but back when this was being booked and planned, like we didn't know. Okay. The hotel didn't tell us that. They're like, yeah, it's perfect weather. Oh yeah. Like they left that part out that it's fucking hurricane season. So, which, whatever, I get it. They want to make their money. They want people to go stay there. But for working in a resort that regularly gets hurricanes, like it was so badly handled.
I was going to say, I was wondering how prepared they were, how routine it was for them.
Let me tell you.
Well, where do you want to start? Do you want to start at the very beginning?
I'm going to start from the very beginning and we'll just go.
Go ahead.
So the very, very beginning, this is where it all started to go wrong. We were supposed to fly out Thursday morning. Yeah. We missed our flight. So my sister was like freaking out.
How'd you miss your flight?
Because we got there late.
Okay.
Not my fault.
All right.
I'm not going to say it was my sister's fault, but it wasn't my fault.
Gotcha.
No, I mean, it was just like, I don't think it was anyone's fault. It was just like, she has a bunch of the babies to get ready to go to the airport. They had like 10 bags packed. Like it was just a lot of different moving parts. And
I get that.
Me and Jelani were just up. We each had one bag. We're like, okay, we're ready. And everyone else is running around with their heads chopped off. Like it was just a lot. So we got there late. I had a rental that I had to return. So like I took up extra time doing that. I didn't think it was going to take that long to get to SFO. It took like an hour. Yeah. Like traffic was bad. Yeah. Anyway, so we missed our flight. We got another flight the next day. Oh. Same time.
A whole day later, though.
They didn't have any more flights that day. So we got a flight the next day at the same time. So everyone's in Cabo sending us pictures and we're watching everyone's Instagram stories. Like everyone is there already except for us. They're all enjoying like the pools and the restaurants and the beach.
And by us, you mean your sister who's getting married and then the future husband.
And then all of our kids. Yeah.
Okay. It's like the stars of the show. Yeah. The headliners aren't there.
The main stars.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we were not there. So, so we did get there Friday, like Friday afternoon. We finally got to the hotel and, we checked in.
Real quick, what's that walk of shame like? Leaving SFO, going back home. You're like, well, we'll try again tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, and then you just sit there all day at the house.
I was not, like, I definitely wasn't as bothered or, like, as pressed about it than my sister was because it took everything in her, like, not to just, like, sit down and cry and, like, I don't want to go anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
She's like, getting married.
Right. It's her wedding. She misses the flight. Like, I knew that there was nothing I could say or do to try to make her feel better. And I'm telling everyone else, like, just don't say anything to her. Yeah. Like, this is literally her wedding and the flight that was supposed to take us there and we missed it. There's literally nothing anyone can say to make her not want to throw a fit and cry.
Yeah. Was it close though, or were you guys not even close?
We got there. So our flight was at 9:10. We got there like at I'm not going to lie. I think we got there like 8:45, 8:50ish.
Okay.
With hella bags to check.
Yeah.
So I already knew by the time we left the house, I already knew we weren't making it. I wasn't gonna be the one to be like, we shouldn't even go. Let's just look for a new flight now. I wasn't gonna be that Debbie Downer. I'm like still trying to go, and we're speeding there, and I'm like, maybe by God's grace, like the flight will get delayed, or like
they
but
don't
no,
play.
I already knew we were gonna miss it. I just didn't want to say anything. But
so you did the walk of shame back to your sister's house.
Yeah, I had to get an Uber back because I had a rental and I had to drop off the rental, and then there was no room for me in their car, so like I had to get an Uber. It was like $80 just to Uber back to her house, which is like, that was the only thing that was irritating, was spending money that like didn't need to be spent.
Preventable.
Right. So we get there Friday afternoon. Everyone's there already. We go eat, like we check in, we get our rooms, everything's good. I have a beautiful like ocean view room.
Nice.
I have 2 beds because there were people that were supposed to, like, I was supposed to have dates and stuff, but like nobody came with me. It was just me and Jelani. So we each had our own bed. We put our stuff down, and we go to this restaurant, and my sister and my cousin meet us there, and we're drinking and we're eating. It's all inclusive. So we're not paying for shit. We're just getting whatever we want. And then we go back to our rooms and we're hanging out. And then that night was our rehearsal dinner. So my sister's like, the rehearsal dinner is I think it was at like 8:00, like meet back at this restaurant at 8:00. And it coincidentally was a restaurant that we were just eating at. So we go back to the thing. It's already, by this time, it's already like dark and raining and kind of getting like windy and stuff, right?
When does the hotel tell you, hey guys, there's a hurricane headed this way. Don't know if it's going to hit, but just get ready. Like, when did they start warning you about the hurricane?
Kind of throughout the day. I don't know how people were finding out about this because I didn't get a call to my room. I didn't get any notes like posted on my door. I didn't get any emails. So it was all very like unorganized and messy. Like, we were all getting these messages from the hotel, but through each other.
Okay.
They were saying that basically the hurricane is like upgrading. I forget what category it was at this point, but they're like starting to set up the ballroom for people
Evacuations?
to go. No, they said we weren't evacuating.
Okay.
But if we needed to like shelter in the ballroom, which was just like this big giant empty room.
Yeah.
That they were already setting up in there for all the guests to have to go shelter in the ballroom.
Got it.
So they're doing all of that stuff behind the scenes, and we're all just like enjoying our time, you know? And so we get to the rehearsal dinner, and it's already like dark at this point. It's raining, it's storming, but like we didn't expect the hurricane to hit until like, I think the next day at like 3:00 when it was supposed to get really bad.
Yeah.
Which was a Saturday afternoon. So we get to the rehearsal dinner, and it's all of us, I went to the room and I put on like I didn't bring a rehearsal dinner outfit, so I just put on one of my vacation outfits. That was kind of cute.
Yeah.
And we get to the dinner, and like we're just kind of sitting there. They hadn't brought the food out yet, and I'm thinking like, okay, so we're gonna like rehearse the wedding, right?
Yeah.
Because we need to know where we're gonna stand, where we're gonna go, where we're gonna walk, what we're gonna do, who's holding what. And we all sit down, and my sister and her fiance. Actually, no, they were already married. So my sister and her husband, which is very weird to say, they were already kind of like bickering at each other, right? And so I'm sitting across from them, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? And she's like, the rehearsal dinner is supposed to be just for us, just for the bridal party. Like, we can deal with that later. And he's like, no, if we're gonna, like, this announcement everyone needs to hear, we might as well just invite everyone and tell everyone at the same time. I don't know what's going on yet, right? But they're like, no, there's not enough food for everyone to come to this rehearsal dinner. And he's like, who cares about the food? This is bigger than that. And so I'm like, dang. So everybody gets there, and he stands up, and he's like, so here's what's going on. The hurricane is going to be worse than the hotel expected it to be. And they canceled all events for the entire weekend. So everyone's like, what do you mean? And he's like, there's no wedding. Like, they canceled it.
Right.
The hotel is not holding any weddings, anythings. for the whole weekend. So we're all kind of sitting there like, is this a fucking joke? Like, we all spent all this money getting here, preparing for this wedding, months and months. And like, I have been, even though I haven't had to deal with as much as my sisters had to deal with, I have been stressed out. Like, just so much going on, so many moving parts. And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be helping her with. Like, it was so much. So we get there and it's like all that for nothing. Like, they're just canceling the wedding. So they're bringing food out still. Like, we're supposed to sit here and enjoy this dinner now. They're like, do you want a drink? Bitch, yes, I do want a drink.
I want all the drinks.
So we're like picking up this food. We're eating. Kids are running around and shit. Everyone's kind of like, some people are mopey. Like obviously my sister's pissed and she just kind of doesn't care about anything anymore. She's just like, whatever. Like, people are trying to ask her questions. She's like, I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't ask me. Don't talk to me. Go talk to fucking Leslie, the wedding planner over there.
Yeah.
Like, go talk to her.
Yeah.
So I don't know who came up with this idea, but somebody was like, you know what? We're all here. Let's do the wedding right now. And I was like, that sounds fun.
Why not? Yeah.
It's hella storming outside. Like, fuck it. Let's do the wedding right now.
Cool pivot. So the wedding was supposed to be Saturday. You're having your rehearsal dinner Friday.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, we just might as well do it now.
Yes.
Okay.
So we all finish up, eat whatever we're eating, and then we all like run back to our rooms. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe we're going to do it right now. And I get my bridesmaid dress and I put it on with my heels. I do my makeup really fast. And like all the girls are getting ready in my room. My sister's putting on her dress in her room. I'm trying to get my son in his suit that we spent so much money on and his shoes. And I'm like, I don't know how the fuck to tie this tie. So I just like Googled how to tie a tie.
Was it bow tie?
No, it was a tie.
Oh, okay.
A tie. And I like just clicked on an image that had like step 1, do this.
Yeah.
Step 2, twist it around this way. So I was trying to follow that and it wasn't coming out right, but I did my best. And we all walked down to back to the restaurant that we were just at having the rehearsal dinner. And they had all the, like half of the patio was still being used by guests that were just like eating dinner.
Sure.
The front half of the patio, they moved all the tables and they took all the chairs and
you had to tell the hotel, hey, we're getting married right now. Like you guys came up with the idea.
The wedding planner was at the rehearsal dinner with us because she was the one explaining like what's going on, why they're canceling.
Sure.
So she was the one, I assume, that just like was like, okay, this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
I don't know who helped her because we were all in our rooms getting ready. I don't know who she spoke to.
But somebody told the hotel, prep because it's going down now.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So we come back out to the restaurant and they had like the tables moved, the chairs are all lined up. They had like the altar. They did a
ofrenda.
No,
sorry.
My sister and her husband did like the sand ceremony. I don't know what it's called. But it's
I've seen that before.
It's when they each take sand and they pour it into their own container. Yeah. And it's like, oh, now you two are one.
Yes, yeah.
So they did that. So they had that set up at the little altar. And then there was like this man there, and I didn't know where the hell he came from, but I'm like, okay, I guess he's doing the wedding. And so we go into the room where we're all the bridal parties waiting, the groomsmen and the bridesmaids. And I went up to like my new brother-in-law's godbrother, and I was like, hey, can you like do his tie? Like it looks so shitty. I don't know how to do it. And he's like, oh yeah, I got you. So he did his tie for him. I was like, okay, you do that. I'm going to go check on my sister and see what she needs. So I'm running back and forth from where my sister is to where the bridal party is and like where we're having the wedding. Mind you, there was like a 6-step gap of no coverings. So I'm running in and out of the rain.
Sure.
And it's pouring. It is dumping.
Yeah.
Like I've never been in rain like that before in my life. And then it's like the whole outside was tile.
Oh, so
you go too fast.
Yeah.
You're breaking that ass. And I'm wearing heels. So I'm having to walk in this rain so slow and take like the slowest steps. And I'm just getting dumped on. It was so bad. Like I didn't even do my hair. I didn't even bother doing my hair because I was like, for what? So I go talk to my sister. My mom was walking her down the aisle. That was another thing, was that my dad didn't make it there in time.
Oh.
So he missed the wedding. And my mom was walking my sister down the aisle. And she was kind of standing off. It was weird because we had to, at the very last minute, we had to figure out how my sister was going to walk to the front.
Past everybody eating nachos.
Well, because say you are where the wedding was happening.
Okay.
So me over here, you're facing the room that the bridal party is in. My sister is behind you in another hallway.
Yeah.
Like there was no way for her to come out and get to another room where she could walk down the aisle without her husband seeing her.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So she had to stay back there.
Okay.
So we all walked out with like our partners or whatever. And then we walk out and we're all just like, are we standing here? Like, do we go here? Are we standing here? Because it's like,
it's not what you practiced.
This is what the rehearsal dinner was for. We didn't practice anything.
Yeah.
There was not even a discussion. So we all walk out. The groomsmen have like this nice like chunk of space where they can all line up nicely. The bridesmaids, we're all like huddled in a corner. Like we're not lined up nicely in the front. We're all like, I'm in front. Someone's behind me. There's 3 other girls like all kind of just like crunched together. It was bad. But my sister walks down the aisle. Well, she walks to the front behind us.
Sure.
It was weird. It was a very weird setup, but we did the best we could do. She has to walk through the rain also. She didn't even get to wear her veil because it was so windy. And the photographer, she's out in the Bay Area, so she flew out for the wedding also. And she was just like, because my sister wanted to wear her veil, and the photographer is like, honestly, like you can wear it if you want, but you're chancing the veil flying in your face and stuff, and it's going to ruin the pictures. So she's like, fine, I won't wear the veil. So my mom walks her down and everyone's crying. Like I'm crying. Her husband's like boo-hooing. And it was like the videos that you see where like the best man's like patting his shoulders like this and he's crying with his head in his hands. And so that made everyone else cry. And on top of that, we're at a wedding that we didn't know was happening and we've all been drinking all day. So we're all drunk.
That's right.
We're all drunk and 10 times more emotional because we didn't prepare for this.
Yeah.
Had we known, we probably would have like actually been getting ready for the wedding and not getting fucked up all day.
Yeah.
So we're all drunk. We're all like, some people actually canceled and didn't show up because of the hurricane. But those of us that still chose to go were, there in the seats. The people at the restaurant that were eating dinner, like, we're all sitting back there like, oh my God, there's a wedding happening right now. They're all recording on their phones.
We get a free show.
Yeah. And, we made it work. The guy that came to drop off the equipment, the speakers for the wedding that was supposed to happen the next day, he just so happened to be, did I say this part already? On air, you did. So he just so happened to be like an ex-minister and he was, what's it called? Like ordained. Ordained. Yeah. So he was able to, I don't know who asked him or who set that up or who even thought to ask a complete stranger, like, hey, are you ordained by chance? Like, yeah. But he ended up like doing the wedding and he had his little book and everything. Like, nice. It was weird. Yeah. It was weird. And they had the microphone because he was the one that brought all the equipment. So they had all of that set up and, we made it work for the situation that for the cards we were dealt. Sure. We made it work and it ended up being like, really nice and definitely memorable. Hell yeah, memorable. And although it wasn't the wedding that she planned and prepared for it and wanted, I hope that she was still like happy with it because like it was a lot of fun. And this is, it's a crazy ass story. Yeah, it is. To be able to tell. And like it ended up just like being really nice. So we did the wedding. We go back into like the room that we had our rehearsal dinner in to take pictures. I brought my speaker, so I'm like playing music. We're all taking pictures like with the wedding party and like the moms and the family and the kids. And then everyone's like, they're bringing out more shots because we're like, we need shots. Yeah. Like, they're like, okay, lo siento. Like, we're coming with shots. So they come out with like trays of shots. We're all taking shots and nobody's even paying attention to like my sister and AJ anymore at this point. They're like, we're all just like dancing and taking shots. I look over and they're in the back. I don't know where this cake came from. They're in the back corner of this room, just the two of them cutting the cake and the photographer's taking pictures of them. So that's how they cut their cake. Like nobody even ate the cake. They just took pictures of them cutting cake in the corner. So that happened. We all tried to go out. The resort had like a club. We all tried to go out to the club, and we're walking over there and find out the club is closed. So we turn around, walking back through the rain, go back to our rooms. I think my sister had like a little hurricane party in her room, but
there it is.
But I was like, honestly, I'm fucking exhausted. Like
this is also the day that you flew in.
Right? Yeah. So I went back to my room and honestly, like, just went to bed. What was crazy was the storm that we had Friday night was, in my opinion, the worst part of the entire storm.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, like, when did it really hit? Like, when...
I was expecting it to hit more the next day, because that's what they said. Like, we woke up in the morning and like it was still really windy outside. Later in the morning, it got calm, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is the eye of the storm.
Sure,
like, it's gonna pick up in a couple hours, and it's gonna be really, really bad." So the hotel was again said like, "We're gonna prepare for everyone to shelter in the ballroom. If that happens, like they would just like be prepared to leave. Like, pack all your stuff up, put your suitcases in the bathtub. When you come to the ballroom, bring a pillow and a blanket."
Wow, they know. Okay, that's the procedure. All right,
I guess. So they told us like we're serving a breakfast buffet because all the restaurants are closed.
Sure,
everything is closed. There's nothing for us to do. There's nowhere for us to go eat. They stopped serving. They closed all the bars. Stopped serving alcohol. So they were like, we're going to serve a breakfast buffet in the morning. Come up to this floor. So we go over there thinking we're going to sit down and eat a breakfast buffet. And they have meals in these little to-go boxes that they're just handing to people. Here, go back to your room. Here, go back to your room. Here, go back to your room.
That's not a buffet. You know how much I can eat at a buffet?
So I
Give
was
me a
like,
box.
They're like, how many people in your room? We're like 5. And they're like, okay, here. And they gave us 5 boxes. Here, go back to your room. Go eat these in your room. We're like, okay. So we go back to our room and I open it and it's like chilaquiles and some weird eggs. It actually wasn't a bad breakfast.
Okay.
So we eat. The hotel people come back around to the rooms delivering more breakfast, and they knock on the door and they were like, "How many people do you have in here?" We're 4 or 5. I don't fucking know. And they're like, "Here." They just gave us more boxes. You might not eat again until dinner time. Here you go. Take this. Oh. Yeah, and we're like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So we're stuck snacking on these chilaquiles all fucking day. Right? Nobody wants to eat that. They're cold. There's no microwave in the room. We can't warm it up. They're cold and soggy and whatever. So we eat it. A few hours go by and I was just like, I need to leave. Like, my mom came up to my room where it was me, my son, my sister, and my nephew, because their room flooded the night before. Friday night.
From the hurricane?
Yes. From all the rain.
Oh, they were on the ground
first
floor.
Then,
yeah.
I was on the 3rd floor. Their room flooded. And so I was like, well, I got an extra bed in my room. If you guys need to come up here and stay with me, you can. So they took me up on that offer. And then in the morning, my mom also came up to my room. So it's all of us in my room.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go. It's not like a suite where there's different bedrooms and a living room and a kitchen to go sit in. No, it's a regular hotel room with 2 beds and a bathroom. Everything on the TV's in Spanish. I can't even put English subtitles on. So, and then it's like even worse because, no offense, but the Spanish dub voices are so annoying.
Right.
Like,
so it's like Friends, but in Spanish.
Yeah. Like, it's just
Seinfeld. Like
nothing to watch on TV. Like, everyone's just in there. We're all talking about the hurricane and like trying not to freak out. Like, what are we going to do? And then everyone's getting irritated because the rooms are so hot. They're so humid. There was condensation on the windows, on the mirror. The floor was just like slippery because it's tile and there's just so much condensation and so many people in there. I was snapping on Jelani all day, and I never lose my patience with him. And it's not like he was doing anything. I was just so irritable. Yeah. There's so many people in my room. Everyone's complaining, and I'm just like, oh my God, I have to get out of this place. So I tell Jelani, I'm gonna go
swim in the ocean.
I was like, I'm gonna go see what Carolyn, what my sister's doing. Like I'm like literally trying to find what other rooms to go to just to be able to go outside and walk and get some fresh air. I was like, I have to get out of this room.
And
I'm going
is it still
crazy.
raining at this point?
It's not raining.
Windy. Just windy, right?
It's not raining. It's just really windy.
Okay.
It's really windy, and some of the hallways were like flooded, and there's like puddles everywhere.
Damn.
Like, yeah, a lot of sitting water and very windy, but it wasn't raining. So I'm walking, and I pass by my aunt and my uncle and my little cousin, and they have more to-go boxes of food, and I'm like, "What's in there?" And they're like, "Oh, they're serving taquitos," and I was like,
"Oh, that's new."
I was like, "Well, where'd you get that?"
Yeah.
Like we're all starving, living off the land now. Like everyone was out scavenging for like food.
Yeah.
Because some people didn't even get delivered breakfast.
No?
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, where'd you get that? Like, we want some of that. Like, where do I go? And she's like, oh, we just went this way. And she's like, it's hard to explain. I'll take you. Like, it was like it looked like a staff hallway, like a staff kitchen. She's like, I don't even know if this food's for us. It might be staff food, but we just like stumbled upon them and they gave it to us. So my aunt takes me. We're like walking around now at this point looking for food. The elevators are down, by the way. Elevators are not working. So we're having to we're walking up. I was on like the 3rd floor. So to get up to the lobby, you have to walk up like 4 floors.
From 3?
Yeah, it was weird.
Weird.
Like the lobby was up top and then it takes you down. And
what was your hotel called?
The Grand Fiesta Americana. So,
I know of it.
So the whole time.
It's all inclusive. That one?
It's all inclusive.
Yeah, I know that one.
The whole time, because of the hurricane, the elevators were like not working. So anytime we wanted to go up to the lobby, to go to the bar, anytime we wanted to go up to whatever sea level was, sea floor was where the ballroom was, which was underneath the lobby. It was very weird.
Okay.
But anyways, the lobby was up top and all of the floors to get to all the rooms were like down.
Gotcha.
And it was a lot of floors. Like I'm still sore. I have blisters on my feet. Like, yeah, it was bad. So we go up to the lobby because somebody said, oh yeah, their food is in the lobby. We go to the lobby and at the front of the hotel, they have a bunch more boxes of food that they're handing to workers because they were going to also deliver that to all the rooms for lunch. So they're telling us, they didn't want to give us food. They're telling us, go back to your rooms. They're going to deliver it. And I'm just like, I'm already here. Like,
yeah, right.
Can you please just give me some food? Like I had already heard that people didn't get delivered food. You know, I have my son in there and my nephew. Please, we are women and children. Like, can you just give me some food and I'll take it back to my room? And so they were like, all right. So they give us, you know, I only took like 4 boxes of food or whatever.
Even though there's 9 people in your room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I texted my mom and my sister. I was like, we're going to go to my aunt's room because she had a suite. Like she had a bigger room. And I really just didn't want to go back to my room. So we're like, we're going to go here. Meet us there if you want. We have, you know, more food. And so go to my aunt's room, like so ready to eat these taquitos, right? I'm like, God, sounds so good right now. And I open it. It was fucking quesadillas. Ugh. And not even like good fancy quesadillas, like a literal one giant flour tortilla with like Monterey Jack cheese folded over. Yeah. Like nothing in it. Yeah. That's what they served us for lunch. 1 quesadilla, a little side of fries, a dollop of guac. That's what they were serving us.
You're starving in this resort.
My sister, because they got delivered lunch also, ham sandwich. And I'm like, I feel like I'm at the fire festival right now. Like we're all trapped. We all paid all this money to be here. We're not getting what we promised. No. This is what they're feeding us. Yeah. Like I was like, this is bullshit.
No kidding.
This like literal is like, I get they're doing the best that they can. I'm sure they are because of like the hurricane and stuff. But like, bro, like, come on. At least be accommodating and you know, I'm really sorry. I know this is not what you guys paid for. Let us give you like $1,000 off your room or something, right?
What are they doing? Because on all-inclusive resort, you're paying a lot of money for that because you get, I just came back from one, you get a lot of food and a lot of alcohol. So if they're rationing off, here's a quesadilla, here's a ham sandwich. Yeah. They're under-delivering for what you're paying.
Yeah. And we brought that up, and all they kept saying is like, oh, well, it's not our fault that like a hurricane happened and that this is what ended up happening. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. And I'm like, so it's my fault that a hurricane came and this is what ended up happening? It's not my fault either.
Yeah.
So why are we having to pay for this?
Right.
So that's still a big back and forth that we're all going through with the hotel right now.
Good. Get your money.
But yeah, we hung out at my aunt's house for a little bit. We drank wine, sat in the patio, like literally just watched the storm, watched the waves. We get back to the room and take a nap because fucking there's nothing else to do. So we all went back to the room and went to sleep. The hotel calls the room and is like, hey, we're going to serve a buffet dinner tonight at 6 o'clock. And then at 6:30, we're going to open the bar in the lobby for drinks. So I'm like, okay, cool. Buffet dinner. Like, yeah, okay, that's what you said for breakfast.
Yeah, I better take advantage of it while they have it.
So we get there, and they actually had opened up the ballroom and did have a buffet set up and tables so people could go get their buffet dinner.
Good.
Sit down, eat. While we were having our buffet dinner, my two very good friends, who you may know as Eric and Showbiz.
Yes.
Call, right? And they're like, hey, go to the lobby. There's a surprise for you in the lobby.
And by the way, if you guys heard I think one of the previous podcasts, Eric was the one who defended this building, the radio station, against like the weird lady that came in. So yeah, he's our program director, but he's also friends with us. Yeah, good friends. Good
friend. We've known each other I've known him since I was 16. Worked with him and this other man, Showbiz, since I was 16. So Showbiz came out because he offered to DJ my sister's wedding, and Eric came out just because like we're all friends and like, of course you're invited. So Eric calls me and he's like, go to the lobby. There's a surprise. Go to the lobby. You and your sister. Go now. I'm like, I mean, I'm getting ready for dinner. And he was like, just go to the lobby really quick and then go back to your room and get ready. I was like, do you know how many stairs? How long it takes me to go and come back? Like, let me finish getting ready really quick and then I'll go to the lobby. So I finished getting ready, go to the lobby. Showbiz is DJing on like this little speaker that the lobby just already has set up and that they just play music for the people in the lobby. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, oh yeah, we can't turn the place up and we're gonna have a party, we're gonna turn it up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, break it down really quick or something. Like, let's all go eat and then we'll come back and then we'll turn the place up. But like, we're starving. Like, we're fucking starving.
They just hijacked the hotel lobby and plugged it into their system and started DJing. And they went rogue.
And so we snuck them into the ballroom and we all sat down and ate. And while we're sitting there eating, Showbiz turns around and he's like, they got another speaker over there. So he's like, I'll be right back. And he picks up all his stuff and kind of walks over to that other speaker and same thing. Unplugs, plugs his stuff in, starts playing music, and we're all sitting there eating, and my sister's eating, and she's like, who's mixing? Showbiz? Jokingly, right? And we all were like, actually, yeah. And she's like, what? And we're like pointing to the back corner of the hall, and there's Showbiz. By the way, fucking big ass black guy. Like, let me put this into perspective for you. Like, he's black guy. He has to be at least like 6'6". Yeah, big ass black guy,
300 pounds,
and
he's probably like 260.
Let me also remind you, we're in Cabo with hella Mexicans, and we're all like 3 feet tall. Yeah, so he stands out. He stands out.
Big smile on his face, too. Big dumb smile.
Sweetest, like, I love him to death.
Stupid face.
But he was back there mixing, and at 30 minutes had to have gone by at least before the workers were like, are we supposed to have a DJ in here?
For the hurricane dinner?
And then all of a sudden the music stops and we all look and there was like two workers that were talking to Showbiz and they're making him turn it off. And we're like, oh man, boo.
And this wasn't like a reception. This is just like everybody at the hotel eating in the dinner room, the dining room.
Yeah, they were just eating regular dinner.
It wasn't a private party.
No. So he comes back to the table and he's like, oh, they made me turn it off. And I was like, well, let's take it up to the lobby. Yeah. So we finished eating dinner and then we go up to the lobby for drinks or whatever. And Showbiz plugs up again and starts playing music and we're all drinking and everyone was just kind of like sitting and listening to the music at first. And then once all of us, like our entire party, got up to the lobby, you know how we are. So we were all like dancing and taking shots. And then other people came and started dancing. And there was like all these old people that were just sitting and like, you know, sipping their drinks or whatever. They would stop a worker and they'd be like, who is this DJ? He's really good. And the worker's like, he's a guest. Can you believe it? He's a guest that he was just staying here and he has all his stuff and he's just playing music for us. And they're like, wow, really? He's just doing it? She's like, yeah, isn't it great? So we're all laughing.
Música.
Yeah, we're all laughing. Oh my God. But it ended up being really, really fun. He was just playing music and we were all dancing. And there was at one point of the night, we stopped the music and we were like, hey everyone, I want to introduce you to, you know, Anderson and my sister here. They were supposed to have their wedding today, but it got canceled because of the hurricane. Yeah. So if you guys wouldn't mind, like, you know, I would like them.
Who's saying this? You?
I thought I was going to, but Showbiz actually said it.
Okay.
But it was like, you know, if you guys wouldn't mind, we would like to take this time for them to have their first dance.
Oh, that's cool.
And so Showbiz played their song, and
what was their song?
I don't remember. I don't know.
A mover la colita.
Yeah.
By Artie the One Man Party.
And so Showbiz played their song, and they had their first dance right there in the lobby.
That's really cool.
And everyone's, you know, smiling and watching and recording and taking pictures, and we all turned on the lights on our phones, and we're it was so cute.
Dude, why do I still love it? Like when I just came from a concert. When concerts do that, I still love it. Like whenever
just the phones.
Hey, turn
so cool.
Turn your lights on, and I'm looking around at 20,000 cell phones.
It looks so cool.
I freaking love that. So to see that in a hotel lobby on a wedding, that's really cool. I love that.
So they did their first dance, and my sister didn't know. It was a surprise, so it was really cute. And then after that, then we just, you know, he started playing music again. We kept drinking, partying. And then
did you do your maid of honor speech? Because that's when it should have happened. Right after the first dance.
So